Hi, my name is Julia. I'm 39 right now and this is my natural hair. I stopped coloring it when I was 36, and today I'm gonna share with you a story how I started, how I came to the idea to stop coloring my hair, and the steps I took to transition to gray hair, and I'm gonna share some advice with you in the end if you're thinking about going gray. I found my first hair, actually not me, my classmate found first hair in my, when I was about 12 in the middle school, and I was literally embarrassed because I thought must be something wrong with me if I grow gray hair at that age. Well, probably I should blame my father's genes for this, because he went completely, not even gray, but white at the age of 40. So maybe I will also grow gray by that age. So now I'm 39. As you can see, I'm not anywhere close. Anyway, so as soon as I was allowed to color my hair, I colored it. I was 16, and then I colored it for 20 years until 36 years old. And I wish I could tell you that I have tried all the possible experiments with my hair. Well, I attempt to, but my hair is so stubbornly black that it's incredibly difficult to bleach it. So I tried a few times bleaching it, and every time I just ended up with very damaged and rusty, brassy hair, and I still couldn't get even to medium brown. So after a few attempts to lighten my hair, which failed, I thought that the only way for me to get a lighter hair is actually to go gray. And probably that was the first time when I really thought about stop coloring. I was in my 30s that time, and I started searching for some examples of young women who wear gray hair. But most of them were older than me, like in their 40s and 50s. And although they look super beautiful, but they were all models, and there were no live examples near me. So at the time I lived in Singapore, and Singapore is kind of a very traditional country when it comes to beauty standards. So there, it's very uncommon for women not to color their hair if they have gray. So even the ladies in their 60s and 70s, sometimes they still color it pitch black, especially before some big events, like before the wedding or before the Chinese New Year. So even though I saw all those beautiful examples online, but I thought, I think it's just that thing in the West. But here in Asia, I never saw anybody doing this. So I thought that I will do it one day in the future, maybe when I'm 40 or 50, I don't know. And then when I was 36, we moved to Canada, and that was the beginning of completely new stage of life. It was not just about hair. Of course, everything changed: the lifestyle, the climate, the food, everything. And that time I still brought a huge box of dye with me. I had like 12 tubes and the solution for mixing, because I didn't think of stopping coloring that time yet. But during my first months of staying in Canada, I think just everything affected me so much, this new lifestyle, and everything was so different that I suddenly decided that why don't I just stop coloring right now? Like, that's it. I'm done. And so I stopped in March. Okay, my last dye was February 2019. Then I start to look for an app trying to try on a gray color and understand what I'm gonna look like. And this is the results that I got. Of course, it is absolutely impossible to predict what you're gonna look like with one of these apps, because gray hair is so unique, because everybody's pattern to go gray is different. Some people have gray hair on top of a lot of light hair on top of their head. Some have a lot of gray hair on the temples. So I didn't know, because I have been coloring my hair for so long. I was not even sure what exactly it's gonna look like. So the first months I was really excited to see all those roots, silver roots showing up. and my hair grows very slowly, like about 1 centimeter per month or less than half an inch per month. I was very impatient, so it took me 3 months to see at least a good demarcation line. At that point of time, I started to feel a little bit self-conscious because I had a short hairstyle, a little bit shorter than this, and so it was growing out, and short hairstyle growing out alone can make you look messy, but when it's together with these gray roots, I really start thinking that I don't like the way it looks, I look ugly. I felt very self-conscious. Fortunately, I had no friends in Canada at that time. we were so new here, so there was nobody who could approve or disapprove my hair. Nobody commented on it, and my family was very supportive. My husband was supportive. He was actually excited for me because he said, I want to see you blonde. And I knew that going gray, that's the only way I can go as close to platinum blonde as possible. So 5 months into the transition, it was summertime in Canada, and there was no way to hide these roots, and because I'm not really a fan of summer hats. Anyway, I decided that I will trim my hair very short and like a pixie cut so that I could get rid of all the colored hair. So I came to the salon and explained to her what I wanted. Anyway, so she told me that if I want to cut off all the dyed hair, then it will make my hairstyle look too short and too manly, which she doesn't want. So she still made a pixie, but it was a longish pixie, and I still have quite a lot of dark hair left. When I came home, I saw those ends. I had like maybe 2 inch of gray hair and then 1 inch of colored hair, and honestly it looked awful because it was so patchy. There was a mixture of dyed and silver hair and oh man, I really didn't like it. So I took a scissors and I started trimming it, and I removed all those colored hair, and this is what it looked like. And yes, my hairstyle was super short. I kind of liked it for the first few days, but after a while, growing out a pixie became a big struggle. So this is probably the most difficult period in my whole transition because I really hated the way I look, and because my hair grows so slowly, so it took me like almost 1 year to grow out a pixie, and I hate it most of the time with the way I look, even though right now I look back at those pictures and I think I look still okay, but I remember I did not feel pretty at that time, and it took me a lot of effort to create some kind of hairstyle. So if you think about getting a pixie, think twice. Eventually, of course, it grew out, so now I'm almost 3 years after and I have trimmed my hair multiple times. I grew it to my shoulders and I trimmed it back. So this is my latest haircut. I made it myself actually at home, and I'm kind of happy with the result. So now let's talk about what I love about gray hair. So first of all, hair fall. I used to struggle with hair fall for nearly 10 years. As long as I lived in Singapore, I always had a lot of hair falling out. Like the drain, the mesh and the drain was always like completely covered with the black hair every single time I washed my head. But ever since I stopped coloring, I don't know if this is a coincidence or maybe it's a change of climate because we also moved from Singapore to Canada. Maybe it's a change of diet, I don't know, but it completely stopped. Like now, for the past 3 years, I don't even get a seasonal hair fall. Every time when I wash my hair, and I wash it daily, I only get a few strands of hair, and that's all. That's all. There is no hair fall at all. And the first few months, I saw a lot of new hair growing out, like here, the temples, and here behind. There was like bunches of new hair growing out. The second reason why I love the gray hair is because it is such a low maintenance. Literally now I can use any shampoo and I don't need to use a conditioner at all. I don't even need to comb my hair. It never tangles. It's like, even when it was longer, I could just run my fingers through it and that's it. The third reason probably is that I just feel so much prettier with this hair color. Even though it's not exactly what I expected, honestly, I thought I'm gonna I hoped I'm gonna have more gray, like more silver here, like on my temples here. Like I have a lot of very light hair, like some portions of this hair is like completely white, and I thought that I'm gonna have this type of hair everywhere, but as you can see on top here I have almost completely black hair, and here is like a mixture of black and silver. So it's not exactly what I was hoping for, but still I'm pretty happy with it. And I think even having just a little bit of gray hair adds so much character and uniqueness to your look. Even last time when I was in my 30s and I had a very dark, like black hair, and very often I see that this high contrast between the skin tone and the black hair really made me look very tired, and it has emphasized all the skin texture and pigmentation and lines and under eye hollowness. And yeah, I felt kind of, I cannot say I felt old because I was still in my 30s, right? But I, like, compared to what I looked like in my 20s, I felt like there is something wrong with my hairstyle and my skin tone. So, but I couldn't really change it because my hair was so black, so I couldn't make it lighter. And now, since my hair is a little bit lighter, I simply feel prettier. I just feel very comfortable with this hair, and I think it's like a natural highlights that frame your face. You see, like here I have it very light. And so if, for example, if I tie up my hair on top, so then you can see how bright it is. And I'm also kind of excited to see what it's gonna look like down the road, because the gray hair is always changing. Like even when I just stopped coloring in the beginning, this part of the head was much darker. Like what you see now is already lighter. It used to be even darker than this. 3-5 years down the road, it will be changing. It's like a journey. And I'm not gonna look the same. I'm not gonna have the same hair color in future, so I better enjoy what I have right now. And here are a few tips that I would like to share with those who are thinking about it or who is on the fence about whether I should go or no. So first of all, I think this is just your decision. There is no right or wrong about going gray, and I have nothing against those who color their hair in their 40s, 50s, 60s, even 80s. It is everybody's personal decision, and it's not that like you have to go gray, like if you want to be in a trend or if you it's just, you don't have to, okay? You don't have to go gray. I think nobody has to go gray if they don't want to. If coloring your hair makes you happy, just continue coloring. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you feel that your colored hair is like doesn't complement your appearance anymore, or maybe you are just tired of monthly maintenance and you are just want to give it a break, so then just go for it. So be prepared that the first few months can be difficult. It depends, of course, on your hair texture, on how fast your hair grows, on whether you decide to keep it long or go shorter. Everybody's way of going gray is different. If you are very conscious about your gray roots, in the beginning especially, as I was conscious, and then try to keep overall your style very modern and maintain it. For example, maybe get a new hairstyle. It doesn't have to be short, but just maintain a hairstyle so that it has a good shape, or maybe spend slightly more time styling it so that you do not look as if you like really let yourself go. So then the roots will just look like a part of your image and not like something that you just forget to color them, right? So that's what I did when I was really struggling with my roots and with the growing pixie. So I was trying to style it as much as possible so that it still looks kind of good, because when you like the way you look, then you feel different and it just makes you feel better, right? And the last thing that I would say is just enjoy the journey, because your hair will change as you age, and what you have today may not be what you have 3 years from now. So enjoy the look that you have right now, even if it's a grombre, is that how you say it? So enjoy it. Like for me, I didn't see that this is the right way for me because I just don't like long hair on myself. But if that is something that you like, then just go for it. Just enjoy your journey and think that if you really do not like it, you can always color it again. Okay, it's not, going gray is not irreversible. So just enjoy it, have fun, and I wish you all the best in your gray hair journey. And if you have any questions about going gray, or if you would like me to share more about the hair care products, so please let me know in the comments.